Hey y'all, how is everybody? Hello, hello, hello. It is storming here, so y'all will probably hear thunder in the background. Hopefully, I don't lose electricity. Hopefully, it doesn't storm that bad. Hi, Miss Sweet Eve. How are you? Glad you're here. I think you're the only one here right now. That's okay. We hopefully some people will come in. Hopefully, Cher is supposed to join if and when she can. Mandy's supposed to join. She has her little grandbaby, so she may not be able to. But if she does, I already gave her the link, and maybe she can join us. Um, I'm good. It's been really busy. I couldn't go live last week because I had family in, and so all last week, like they were here like 8 days. So um, I really couldn't do anything but, and the kids were not in school yet. The kids did not start school until they had like 2 days last week that they did like a soft start. And then Monday they started um, regular school. So I had them all last week. Plus we had family here. So that was pretty busy. Hi, Claudia. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hopefully, it's thundering pretty good. And I think I just heard the rain start. So hopefully, I don't lose my electricity or internet or anything. We'll see. It's raining pretty hard. And it just started raining too. So we'll see how long I'm able to stay on here with the weather. I don't know if you can hear it. That's rain if you can. That is rain. So I'm probably going to get soaking wet going back inside if it is still storming. But I thought I would give it a try anyway since I had already put it, listed it as going live. So we'll see. It might slow down by the time I'm done with my live. Any bad weather y'all's way? I mean, it is coming down hard now. It's going to be fun going inside. I was looking at the weather at the radar to see how far it was. Let's see. I don't think it's going to last too long. I think maybe by the time I'm done, it will be hot and humid. Yeah, it was like 102 or 3 today. Yep. My truck was like under the carport and it said 100 degrees. And I'm like, that's under the carport. That's not even like out, in the sun. That's in the shade. And it's still like 100 degrees. Can y'all hear that? So what I wanted to talk about tonight was the red truck, because you can hear it a little. Yeah. My goodness. What was that? Because the red trucks have always been, um, I've always thought there's something up with the red trucks, because there's red trucks, there's red cars, there's just a lot of red in the that's involved in Summer's case. And it's always made me kind of like, why is there a lot of red? And they talk about it. They talk about the red trucks and they talk about the red car. And in this video that I'm going to show, they talk about the red truck again. And this is the time they talk about it, the red truck, when, remember the rack that was on the back of the red truck? They talk about that truck with the rack missing. It's not a real long video, but it is very interesting. It's a very good video. And when I seen it, I was like, this is good, because I really have felt a certain way about the red trucks and the red cars and the red vehicles since the beginning. So let me first, I want to tell, it's not my video, but I do have permission to use it. I was able to, I didn't get up with the creator. Cher did. Cher got up with the creator for me, and they said, yes, you can use it. And I was very excited about it. So I'm going to give them full credit because they did a great job. Yeah, the company, yeah. Because I'm going to give them full credit, because it is a great video, and they've got a lot of great videos. So I'm going to ask Eve if she will drop their link into the chat as soon as I tell you whose video it is. And I want to give them, like I said, full credit for this video. But this is Killer Looks video. I really like the way he just goes in and he just talks about things. He just kind of picks through things, and he looks at it from a different perspective. And I really like the way he does that. I've watched several of his videos, and if you don't know a lot about Summer's case and you come across one of his videos, you kind of watch it and you kind of get an understanding of her parts of her case as he's explaining it to you. So, just sleep out here? Oh, I can't. There's no bed. I don't have a bed out here. This is just like, I mean, it's got electricity and everything, but I don't have a bed or anything out here. You're 3 away from 500 on your 500 on your channel. Awesome, Claudia. That means you can get, once you get your watch hours up and you might already have your watch hours up, you can be monetized. That's awesome. That is awesome. Eve will drop your link in here too. Yeah, I'm still quite a ways from, I haven't looked today. But I'm still quite, well, I'm like 75. I'm 75 away, but that's great. 300 away from 500. Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Very good. But when you watch Killer Looks videos, for me, he just explains it. And I do like his videos. I like the way he just goes into it, and I believe he's from the same state I'm from, so that's another really cool thing about Killer Looks is his videos and stuff. I believe he's from the same place I am. Okay, thank you, Eve. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yep, thank you. Yeah, on my Looking Glass, I have like over 900 subscribers, but I don't have my watch hours aren't there yet. So I'm still not monetized on the Looking Glass either. But I have plenty of hours on this one. I just need to get the subscribers. All right, so let's add this to the stage. And I'm going to go over here so I can play it. And I will have to go back and forth. So if Cher comes up, I'll have to just keep running back and forth so I can see that she's there. Maybe she'll send me a message, hey, I'm back here. But this is a very good video. You may have seen it already. If you haven't, it's a very good video, and we're going to stop here and there and talk about it. Make sure you can hear it. I'm going to play it, and then let's make sure we can hear it. It's turned up where we can hear it and everything. Let's see.
To get caught up in who was in the Ben Hill Holler on June 15th, 2021, when Summer Wells went missing. But what if the most
Can y'all hear it okay? Did y'all hear that? Yes. Okay, cool. All right. I'll start it back. Thank you, Eve.
damning clue wasn't who stayed, but who left. Law enforcement scoured the holler, walked its twisted paths, and declared they found no sign of Summer or evidence of an accident. But if you look closely, not at who was present, but at who vanished around the same time Summer vanished, you begin to understand. The story isn't written in presence, it's written in absence. And maybe, just maybe, the real monster wasn't hiding in the holler. It was escaping it.
Damn, Killer. It's so good.
The FedEx driver almost hit a red truck that cut it out in front of him, and that was the FedEx driver who'd seen a little blonde girl in their truck. So that was, I think, where the original look out for the red truck came from.
Okay.
That truck, that maroon truck that they're looking for.
Yeah.
Young kids was driving the damn thing.
Did you hear what they said? Hi, Teresa. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. He is really good, but I can't understand him. Yeah, the one he put out about the footprints. I know. I seen that today. I thought, man, wouldn't that be a great one to put with this one? Because I took a few notes from that. I thought that was a great video, too. Yeah. And what I missed on the first time I heard this about the red truck was the FedEx guy almost hit him or hit them, the red truck. And I'm like, that's very interesting because I forgot that was in there. And on the footprints video, I like the way he showed you the map up and then he showed it to you down, you know. And I took some notes too when I was looking at that video. And I thought it was interesting how like the footprints were in between, like, here's my notes, the campsite. Where did I put that at? It was like the location of the footprints, how they were in between certain, like the campsite and the Wells home, and then the cabin, the unfinished cabin. It's kind of like the spot they were in was like really very interesting of how he showed exactly where they were, where the footsteps was found. So it makes it a lot easier for you when you hear the footsteps were found, where they were found at. It makes it a lot easier to envision that. Hi, Aussie. How are you? How are you? I don't, Claudia. I don't watch him. Mm-mm. Yes, hello. How are you, sweet Aussie? How are you? Are you having a lovely, it's morning, afternoon there for you? I think it's like morning, right? But I had forgotten when they said, that this is a FedEx truck almost hit him. I thought, oh, I forgot. It's been everything's been so long ago. Um, being by the unfit, yeah, but he said he couldn't find it. Oh, he couldn't find the unfinished cabin, or he couldn't find the footprints. Was it 2 or 1? Because I thought it was like 1 footprint, which I thought was odd. I'm like, well, how is there just 1? Or was it 2? I thought, but this is hearing it from Jody Sue, and I couldn't totally understand her. So I don't know, was it both footprints, or was it just 1 footprint? Because Killer kind of showed it from 2 different directions, but it made it where you could see it, you could envision it a lot better, where you kind of had a good idea of the footprints as in location to the hut, or the unfinished cabin, also to the Wells home. I'm good, my darling. Enjoying Nana. Oh, Nana snuggles. Those are the best. Don't you love the smell of babies, aren't they? It's just the best. It's just the best. Okay, we're going to go back over it. Listen.
The little Toyota truck.
She's still driving it? Or
I know it was her mom was driving.
so she was driving around that maroon truck around that time?
Mm-hmm.
She was.
Because it was 2 days later, she come in the holler and moving her stuff out from Randy's. Driving that truck.
It's 2 days after Summer went missing?
Well, after y'all come that day.
Oh.
It was 2 or 3 days after that. She gave me a ride and holler.
And she was driving that truck.
In that yellow truck. We broke down to the front of the holler. And she just gave me a ride on up here because I was trying to get his truck on in the holler. And she gave me a ride on up here. And we hadn't seen that truck until that night. And Fred's like, did you realize what truck that was? I said, yeah. I said, that's that damn maroon truck you're looking for, ain't it?
Yeah.
He said, yeah. He said, Jody Sue's the one that made that comment about him not finding the ladder right.
Oh, my God.
Now, I don't know for sure who's talking. Either one of these are talking. I'm not sure. I think I know who one of them is, but I don't know the other one. So I was going to ask Cher maybe if she knew when she came in, but somebody in chat, y'all may know who the 2 women are that are talking. But it's interesting how she called it red or orange, and she said that is the first time she has saw it before. I believe that's what she said. Let's go back. Hi, Miss Smith. How are you? How are you? It is storming. I don't know if you can hear it here. It is storming. It was one and another property. They were unfounded. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things they say is unfounded, right? There was one and supposedly another one on another property. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Or they were somebody's footprints, right? I just can't see, to be honest, I just can't see from now that I know exactly where not exactly, but now that I know sort of by Killer Looks video that he just did of the footprints, I kind of know a little bit about the terrain, and I wouldn't think that, I know she's a country girl and she can run all over the place, But that is very densely wooded, and I can imagine what all is out there that she would have to run through barefooted. So did they, if it was a bare footprint, I can't imagine Summer being able to do that. As little as she was, I know that she was a country girl, but I mean, there's probably was sticks and briars and thorns and no telling what up in them woods for her to be walking barefooted. That looked like a long way. I don't know if it was, but it looked like a long way. So I just have a hard time believing she would be able to just walk that or run that. But I mean, I grew up a country girl and I ran down rock roads and stuff like that. But I never went my grandma lived on over 40 acres and there was woods in the back, and we never went without shoes because of snakes and different things that you can step on. So we never went without shoes in the woods. So I just don't see Summer going through all of that. That's a lot of stuff I'm not saying there wasn't no footprints there. I just don't believe that Summer could do that. Even as country a little girl as she was, I still, in my opinion, the train just looked too rough. Unless like she was being carried and they sat her down, said stand here, and her foot, that's how her footprint got there. I mean, that could have happened too, I guess. But I don't know. It's just hard for me to think of her being able to do that.
Should all let's do is take the ladder rack off of it.
This is on, supposedly, like I said, on June 15th, the day Summer Wells went missing. A little bit strange, abandoned maroon truck in the middle of the road.
Road starts off on the west end, usually about 3/4 of a mile down Chalk Tank. There's a maroon truck, usually abandoned, partially in the roadway.
The person on this call says there appears to be a maroon truck. A maroon truck appears to be abandoned partially on the roadway. Now, if you remember from the beginning part of when Summer Wells went missing, there was this maroon truck that was always attached to her being missing.
The person came forward and they found this truck on their trail cam.
And I do not know this creator either. So I'll just say again, if for anyone that's coming in, the video is Killer Looks. This is his video. And I was grateful that he, let me use it. I'm very thankful for that. If you didn't hear that, I think he makes great videos, but this is Killer Looks video. And I can look up the description and put it down in the chat too, so you can go back and look at the video if you want to. But I don't know this creator either. Like I said, there's some in here that I know, some creators in here that I know in this video, but I'm not familiar with this creator here. Which it doesn't matter, but I just want, everybody to know that this is Killer Looks video.
And they gave it to it's either FBI or the TBI, and they have this information now. And what they said, there's a little story with what was shown on this trail cam. And what it was a man was in the truck, and there was 2 children in the bed of the truck. And one of the things that stood out for me is in the explanation that the truck turned around, backed into the neighbor driveway near Big Elm Road in Churchill, Tennessee. When the truck backed in and turned around, the kids were sitting up in the bed. The man said something to them, and the kids lay down in the truck bed. Then the truck took off. The color of the truck was red, and the plate could not be made out.
I was sitting here one day, and my husband calls me, and he says, I need to tell you something. I said, okay, is there something wrong? He says, no, there's nothing wrong. He says, but that Summer Wells case that you've been following. I said, yeah. I said, what about it? He said, the guy that I work with is actually dating the social worker that's involved in this case. And I was like, oh. She's not just a social worker controlling the case, but she is controlling the youngest child of the whales and the boys. It's unbelievable.
Now that's very interesting. Well, first of all, it's very interesting that there were 2 kids in the truck and they were told to lay down in the truck. I think this is later on in the video. I think it's where they say their ages are 7 and 4, which is interesting because one of them 4 years ago would have been probably 11. One of the whale's children would have been. But they didn't say boy or girl, or 2 girls or 2 boys. They just said 2 children. So there was not really a full description of like boy and girl or 2 girls or whatever that I know of. Hi, Bellanova. Hi. He has been on the ball lately. He's been dropping them, hasn't he? I've been trying to watch them too whenever I had the free time to do that. And a couple of weeks ago, this one is like, I seen this one like 3 weeks ago, and I just haven't been able to go live because I had family in and different things going on, and I been wanting to review this for like 3 weeks now. So. And then he dropped another great one about footprints, if you haven't saw it. So, yeah, he's been on the ball. I like his videos because he puts a lot of work into them and explains them. Ziggy has Killer Looks video on where he's describing the area. Fred has a lot to say about it, too. 20 hours ago. Okay. I don't watch Ziggy that often, so... I don't even know if I'm subscribed. I have to look and see. Is that the one? Teresa, are you talking about the footprints one that he's describing, or is it a different one? I saw this lady's videos. Anything true about this? I never heard. That's what we were talking about. How many stories about the red vehicles that we have heard come through here? Like a red truck, a couple of red trucks. Somebody said at one time Robin had a red truck. Don and Candace had a red car. So there's been several stories about it. I do not know, honestly, if this one was ever proven about the 2 kids in the back of the truck. The fact that the truck was almost hit by a FedEx truck, I don't know if that's the same truck she's talking about, this creator is here, versus at the beginning of the video when the 2 people they were talking to said was in the truck. One of them was in the truck with Fred, and she said, we saw the red truck and we've never seen it before. So I don't know if these are the same 2 trucks. So that's a great question. I don't know. I couldn't believe it, actually. Summer had stepped on a gate, her arm hanging over the bars, looking straight ahead, but it looked like an early sort of. I don't know. Yeah. Stepped on it. Talking about like the gate that's in the or the rack that they said was missing from the truck. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know who that lady creator is either. I have heard that story before about the kids, but I don't know if anybody's ever verified it. Hello, Mimi Jean. How are you? How are you, lovely lady? Hello. No, he should a gate on that property. Oh, okay, okay. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. The gate with the or the property that had the red shed, that end, or the property that had the not completed shed. Is that what you were talking about? Is that the one? Good. Very good. All right, let's go over here. This gets very interesting. If you have not seen it, this gets very interesting. I didn't realize it when I first watched it, and then I really went back and watched it because I wanted to take notes and discuss some things. I was like, wow, there's a lot of creators in this one. There's a lot of different creators in here talking. Yep. Yep. That's why I said I think for me the red trucks and all of the red coloring in this, I think for me it may not be a great big connection, but there's a connection. There's something going on with the red vehicles in the area. For me, there is. Maybe I'm looking into it too much, but I feel like it holds a piece to Summer's story. For me, it does.
She's actually like she's a psychologist, social worker. She works for CPS, but she's also a licensed therapist as well. Right. So he I don't know of the other children, but I know that he is actually in what they call an Isaiah house. And this child, she says that he just kind of stares at walls and he doesn't talk much and he's just kind of zoned out majority of his day. So they have a hard time even getting him to respond to anything they say to him. This is the youngest boy. Right. So he goes on to tell me, and I'm like, well, let me talk to the guy you work with because I want to hear this from him, So I get on the phone with him and I start asking him, what do you know about this? And he's like, well, she's dead. I said, well, how do you know that? He said, because my girlfriend is the social worker that deals with the youngest child. He's in what they call an Isaiah house, and he's traumatized from the whole incident. And I said, well, how do you know that she's no longer alive? And he said, because according to his girlfriend, the Wills, both parents apparently had set something up because they owed a lot of money to somebody. And when it comes time to pay, Don couldn't pay. So they were actually directed to give not just Summer, but the youngest boy up for ransom. So it was both of them that were supposed to be given up. Something had happened that day, and
now I had heard that before about the youngest boy. Do I think that the brothers know something? I do. I mean, sadly, I think they do. And it's sad because they have been put in a bad position to where it's their sister and their parents are, in my opinion, allegedly could be responsible for whatever reason or whatever happened. So the only thing I question is, well, I question a lot of things, but why would the social worker tell something that important to just anybody? When you know that that's a very big part of the case, why would you let that out, that this child has told you that? Don't you think that puts that child in danger? And you're supposed to be like the psychologist or the person that's watching over the child or helping the child, and now you've went and told some information like that that possibly could get the child hurt now that somebody has heard them telling it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but why would you do that to the child that just told you something that was probably dramatic and traumatizing, and you just said he doesn't talk much, he doesn't say anything, and then the one time he does, this is what you do. I mean, that bothers me a lot. Ziggy late night chat. Summer Wells, Fred knows all about the cabin in camp. Did she just do that did she just do that last night or the night before last? Ziggy late night chat. Maybe I've seen that on somebody else's thing. Yeah. Yep, here's Killer Looks channel, if y'all have not subscribed to him. And that's where this video is coming from, about 3 weeks ago. Yeah, exactly. And now somebody that they trusted has told what they know. So why would they talk to you? Why would they talk to anybody after that? They're not going to tell anybody anything. If somebody's dating a social worker and they go running their mouth, well, now that child's not going to say anything. They're probably scared to death. And they're not going to trust anybody because you're telling something that they just really didn't want to tell you, because obviously they just said he didn't speak much. He hardly talked. Well, now that, he tells you something important and you do that, I really have. I know, Bella. Last night, okay. I just have a hard time with that, especially if he was hard to open up to begin with. Then put it on YouTube, right? Yeah. And the other two haven't said anything. I wonder why. And the only thing that did was that hurt Summer's case, where now if they do know anything else, which I don't think they know where Summer is. But I mean, that kind of put a damper on the case as far as leads. You know what I mean? I mean, that just kind of shut it down for a while, I would think. Right. That's what I'm saying. If that's true, that's why I'm kind of like, okay, is this all true? Or, I mean, that's a lot for me. That's a lot for a child that, like they were saying, didn't talk much. You had to drag things out of them. And then they tell you that all of a sudden now they're going to tell you this very important information. So that's the issue I have with that. I can't imagine. I can see them coming, just starting to talk to you a little bit here and there. Maybe say, well, we didn't have a good life, or they were mean to us, or they did that. But I can't see them going from not hardly talking to y'all and just saying that. And maybe he did. Maybe he just wanted to get it off his chest. And he's like, finally, I tell somebody now I can, you know what I mean? Now I can get it off my chest and feel better. But I don't know. It's just right as hats. Exactly. Ziggy. Okay. Yeah. She's supposed to be on Shares tomorrow night. I don't know. Not sure if she will. I don't know for sure if she will. That's just what Cher said. If they go out to that cabin, Summer's over the cliff, she will be hard to get to. Right. Yeah, that terrain is like, especially from looking at Killer Looks video today, with the footprints. That one side is just looks like it just drops off. Like, on this side it showed like where it looked like fields and maybe farmer fields or just prairies or whatever was over here. Then over here it was just like a bunch of trees and it just dropped. Yeah, it happens all the time. We live in a small community. Yeah. Ziggy and Laura, the ex-girlfriend of Fritz. Okay. Thank you, Laura. I didn't know. That's why I was asking in chat who they may be, because I didn't know. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And thank you and welcome. Welcome for joining us. All right. There was old tracks out there. And yeah. I'm sure there's old tracks out there. I kind of feel like, and I don't know if that area, like where the unfinished cabin is that the property that is between Jody Sue and Don? Is that the property that was bought by the person? I guess he'd been like a stranger or something that come into Ben Hill. Is that the area where the unfinished cabin is? Is that area? Because if it is, for me, I feel like that area is used quite a bit, because it's between Don and Jody Sue, and nobody was ever out there. So it could have been used easily and nobody would know it. So I'm sure there was old tracks out there for sure. For sure. Yes, welcome. And it was in a trust. The land was. I don't know if that guy still owns it now or not. I don't think Jody Sue lives there anymore either, right? So does anybody live over there on that other side of that property now? I don't know. But we will go over here and finish watching this. But thank you for that information, Laura, because and I don't know Laura. I don't know that Laura was in a lot of other videos. I don't think I recognize her voice from being in other videos. But after summer went, oh, okay. The cab, I'm sorry, that's thunder. I don't know if y'all heard it. The cabin is on Andy's parents'. Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure if it was on Andy's parents' property or it was the property that nobody had. That little strip in there that Jody Sue went out and surveyed that she didn't want that guy buying. I didn't know if that cabin was on that property or not. So thank you for that, Laura. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. Okay. Yes. Do you hear the thunder too? Okay, sir. All right.
Everything fell apart, went wrong, and during the time that they were taken from the home, apparently, I don't know if he said it was at the house when this happened or if it was away, but when the boy and the girl realized what was happening, Summer apparently tried to run, and the little boy ran, and something happened to where Summer got hurt.
Now, the second 911 call is a little bit more, I don't know if it's a little more interesting, but it's definitely...
I have to go back on that because I want to listen to that again.
That day, and everything fell apart, it went wrong, and during the time that they were taken from the home, apparently, I don't know if he said it was at the house when this happened or if it was away, but when the boy and the girl realized what was happening, Summer apparently tried to run, and the little boy ran, and something happened to where Summer got hurt.
Now, the second 911 call is a little bit more, I don't know if it's a little more interesting, but it's definitely, it's a little bit odd. So let's listen to that one.
36, go ahead. 36, I know you're out at the ER. I just received a call advising there's 2 kids is approximately a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old standing on the side of the road. It's going to be right around the East Tennessee Iron and Metal, waving at cars as they go by. No adults are around. They're close to a blue house. 10-4, I'll get them when I clear here. 10-4, he's going on a patrol check of 2 children on 60.
So we were just talking about that, Teresa. So apparently that was called in to 911. So it was documented, but did they ever find? Obviously they didn't find them, right? So we're going to keep listening to see. What I wanted to go back and listen to was they said that when they come to get the boys, the little boy and the little girl realized what was happening and they started running and Summer got hurt. That's what I wanted to go back and listen to again because I thought I heard that the first time. So are they trying to say that Summer got hurt when CPS came to get the boys? But I thought that was done after Summer left. So did they attempt it before Summer went missing? That's how I'm hearing it. If y'all hear it or hearing it different, let me. Between Bill and okay. And that's where the gate is. Okay. That Teresa was talking about earlier. Okay.
Standing by the roadway with no adults.
This is potentially the gap of time that from approximately 2:15 in the afternoon until 2 hours and 47 minutes later. 2:15, 2 hours and 47 minutes, 5 p.m. A block of time that nobody has an explanation for.
I mean, this is only 23 miles away. So if we're talking about a possibility of someone getting in a car and going this way, this is the East Tennessee Iron and Metal. It's the first one's very weird because the ties.
What did you say that was done after the boys got okay? So you think this story, this 911 call is after Summer went missing? Okay, thank you, Laura. Okay. And I don't know if the call was finished on here or not. I can't remember. We'll have to look and see. The boys got taken. So, yeah, I knew they went after. I mean, they were still in the home for a little while after. I do remember that. Yeah. That's why I was kind of confused. I was like, well, did they try to come do it before Summer went missing? And this whole fiasco thing happened? 2 children were located. Okay. Did they say if they just ran away or they just wandered away from home? Did they ever say? It was probably never even told like on social media what had happened. You know, once they were found, nobody probably thought to add to Summer's case. Okay, well, this had nothing to do with Summer. I don't know that, but I don't remember them ever coming back and saying this had nothing to do with Summer's case.
To the red or the maroon truck, okay? The ties that, initially when Summer Wells went missing, there was suspicion or interest around a possible red truck that was near 110 Ben Hill Road. This one, that I think the first one is possibly more interesting, but because of the red or the maroon truck thing, the 2 people the 2 people on the side of the road, I think could just be a coincidence, but them talking about it says, I just received a call, approximately a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old standing on the side of the road around East Tennessee Iron and Metal, waving at cars going by.
Done some digging on my own and ended up in a little small town of St. Clair, Tennessee. Well, community. It's more of a community than anything. So supposedly Candace went into this gas station in St. Clair the day Summer went missing. Done some talking to to an individual. Yeah, Mr. Patel's a really nice guy. I tell you, I looked around in there.
This is very interesting what he's going to tell. If you haven't watched this is very interesting. Oh, did your net went out? I'm glad you're back. Hopefully mine won't. I don't know if you came in time to hear all the thunder, but it is storming here. Robert's called, they found them in pickup. I believe they were with the parent. Okay. All right. They probably told the kids to lay down because they're not supposed, well, I don't know about there, but here you're not supposed to ride around in the back of the truck. It used to be when I was growing up, you could, but now you can't. You can't ride around the back of the truck anymore. Yeah, it's raining hard. I'm going to get wet going in. I'm going to get wet. Okay. But this is real interesting. Listen to what he says about Candace.
But yeah, supposedly Candace went to this gas station sometime before they called 911 to report her missing.
All right. What we're going to do here is we're going to cover the Sancho. Yeah, baby. Oh, Donnie the Sancho.
Of course, everybody makes mistakes, but that's why I turned to YouTube was for help, and they all turned against me.
You should have turned to the Lord, homie. That's what you should have turned to. Should have turned to the Lord, away from Knoxville. That's all I'll say about that. Hey, Donnie, maybe next time you talk to Candace, ask her about St. Clair. Or maybe ask her about the 5-minute detour to the gas station where she went in the bathroom and didn't buy shit and walked straight out. And then shortly behind that, the TBI came by and got that footage, right? Ooh, yeah, bro. The TBI had came down to that gas station your wife was at. Yeah, that was.
So before I go on with it, if you have not seen this video, there's going to be quite the cursing here coming up. And a little bit of, not a little bit of, but it could be triggering for you. So they talk, it's not a whole lot, but there is a little bit of talk about things in here. So I just wanted you to know before I continue on, because Don's going to come in here and you know his mouth. Because I counted all the BS that he did that one time. So you're going to hear him talk a little bit about it. But you can't in Tennessee ride in vehicles. Yeah, in the back of vehicles. Yep. When we were young, we got away with so much more. Right? Yeah, you don't get away with that stuff no more. See, when I was growing up, there wasn't really seat belts. You could, if you were small enough, you could stand up in the vehicle beside, your mom or dad and ride right there. But you can't do that no more. Yes, because Mr. Wells is going to come on here with his mouth. Always a joy. Here we go.
When we knew she had actually left 2 times. We don't know how many times she left. She was that thing was a fucking upstate New York toll road. She's over here. She's over there. She's in the gas station in the bathroom for 5 minutes and didn't buy anything and didn't say anything to anybody. It's an establishment that she frequents quite regularly. I won't go into what the TBI agents told the lady who turned over the footage. But Robin Lane has heard something like the same thing she heard. And Robin Lane and the manager at the gas station, babe, they don't even know each other. Mm-hmm.
So many kids. Don't call my phone no more. Don't come to fucking Tennessee.
Bro, I'll come any motherfucking place I want. And I'll dare you to curl a hair on your ass with 2 probations, homie. For real. You barking up the wrong tree. Donald Wesley Brown, don't play with me. You can't even break bread where you live at. The fuck you gonna do with me? You can't even get yourself in order. The fuck you gonna do with me? St. Clair, yeah. Ask your wife about St. Clair, Don.
You little bitch, I'll fuck you up.
There. That's all I needed. Now when I see you, bro, I'm finna cut your hair, homie. Mm-hmm.
That's why I was made me cheat. Oh my goodness. I know. Oh, so the place they're talking about, isn't that far away from where Summer lives. It's just 23 miles. So, I mean, I get it. You go stop and you go to the bathroom and you don't go inside and get anything to drink, or, I mean, I get it. I get people do that. But I don't know why you go 23 miles to do that and not buy anything. So that's odd. And I have heard that she left and came back twice that day. I have heard that, and that is something I repeatedly keep hearing. So I'm kind of probably leaning toward that's probably true. She probably did. And we wouldn't know really, because we have to go by the time that she reported her missing. That doesn't mean that's when she went missing. So, there's that.
I'm taking a look at what if the interview from the other night where Mary was talking to the lab. And what if she knows something that she's trying to tell us? What if she knows that Summer's alive and that a despicable act of her father selling her happened? The lowest of low moments would have to be to sell your own child. And that I've referred to the Wells property until the community that's been covering Summer Wells by a couple different phrases. An activity that I've always heard and come to know as a local happened. I've had a certain code or codes of phrases. One of them that I'm discussing and really talking about tonight is why I call it a trading post. I mentioned that there was a issue, or that I believe that they were runners. They did a lot of running. And I mean a lot, to try to gain favor. Drugs were trafficked through Ben Hill Road. There's a reason why Don says he knows who Playboy is. Playboy's a person in Knoxville. The one thing I assure everybody tonight:
when you go that direction, and I don't know anything about the area that they're from other than what we've seen. When you go the direction she was going, is that going toward Knoxville? I don't know. I mean, would there be a reason she would be going that way? Like, did she need to go to a bigger town to go shopping? Is that why she would be going that way? And I'm asking because I don't know why she would be going that way. Like, what would her intentions be? She went into the bathroom and was in there a while and left. I heard that the gas station isn't open anymore. I guess if we had the name of it, we could really check. And I could probably get the name of it. Mm-hmm. But I just wonder why she was going that. I mean, if you're going to go 23 miles away from home, it looks like you would have a purpose, right? Like you would be going that far away for a reason. And you wouldn't just be just like, oh, I'm just going to, I mean, I wouldn't think, right? Pick up or, yeah, there's a reason for it, right? And they later confirmed the footprints and where they were located. Okay. I hope they took pictures of them, even if they didn't turn out to be Summers. I hope they cast them or do whatever they need to do to figure out whose they were. Because how many other children were in that immediate holler? Like, wasn't Jody Sue's kids, Andy's kids, weren't they bigger than Summer and him? So were these child footprints or were these adult footprints? I mean, how many kids were in the holler? That there would be kid prints out there, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Thank you. I appreciate all the information. Y'all know more than me about a lot of this stuff. And I followed Summer's case when she disappeared, but it is so much information that you forget it. And you have to go back and look it up again and refer back to it because you're like, oh yeah, because it's just so much information. One neighbor said the kids don't go barefoot. See, I mean, I can't imagine going barefoot, like I said, through those dense woods and everything, because I grew up in the country too, and we didn't go in the wood part, back in the woods behind my grandma's house, barefooted. We just didn't because it was too many stickers and briars and limbs and snakes and whatever else out there. I mean, we just didn't do it. Wild roses grew everywhere. I mean, we just didn't do it. Not in the woods anyway. All the kids were older than Summer. Yeah, see, so what was it, adult? Was it a child footprint? I thought they were child footprints, but I also thought the property they found them had small children too, but I could be wrong. Yeah, see, I don't know how many small children were. I knew that Jody Sue has children, but I don't know how old they are. So, but I was thinking they were older, like teenagers. Does anyone know if they were tracking dogs or cadaver dogs? That makes a big difference because it rained a lot and those prints were fresh. I'm confused about that. I heard they were tracking dogs, not cadaver dogs. At one point, I thought Candace said they were cadaver dogs and Dawn said they were tracking dogs. So I do want to find that out for sure because it's in one of the videos where Candace talks about, they ask Candace about the dogs and she complains because she had to find a place for her dogs because they were messing up the tracking dogs. So I think they were tracking dogs, not cadaver dogs. Candace was there at a yard sale before Summer went missing. Okay. They asked if the owner of the property had and ruled them out. Oh, okay. They ruled the footprints out. Okay, good. Because see, some of the stuff you don't hear about. They don't come back and tell you. You hear about. It's like they like to put the stuff out there, and then when it's nothing about the case, they don't want to finish it off and say, "Oh, well, it's nothing," because they want it. They want you to keep going with it. You know what I mean? They want you to keep that part of the story going, even though it's not really a part of the story. Okay, let's go over here.
Is that none of this, if Mary is right, none of this was by accident. Part of the theory of what I believe happened is that there was something more nefarious planned for the 15th, but the sudden illness interrupted and caused everything to change.
This is Donald on his Facebook, speaking with a woman that he's been confiding in. And she says, "Who do you think took Summer?" He says, "Wish I knew. Got a 12 gauge ready." She says, "Was there anyone you owed money to, or that has maybe vanished from your life since Summer got taken?" Borrowed $50,000. LOL. And there's more. There's more. He goes on to explain that the $50,000, in his words, came from a quote-unquote Mexican mafia. He has paid them back 30, but he still owes them 20.
Well,
this becomes interesting right here because Fred comes back into the story again. Let's see. It rained after she was missing, so why would they be? Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, the footprints are just odd because you would think the footprints would be there after she went missing if it rained, and they went up there after the rain. But why would they go up there? Why would they be there at all if there's really no reason for the footprints to be there? So are they footprints of another child that was being brought through there? I mean, or they actually know who those footprints go to? Because I can't remember how many days before Summer went missing. Because it rained then too, not too long before she went missing. I don't know if she went to it was it on the 15th? Mimi Jean, was it the 15th that she went missing went to the yard sale? Was it the 15th? Yes, now we have AI channels out and all. Yeah, exactly. If you could take out all the misinformation, cases would be so much less dramatic for a lot of, people and everything. No, she went to the yard sale a few days before. Okay. Thank you, Mimi Jean. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, the next part here is look who's making their debut again. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Look who's here again. What? What? Toby Banks is sticking his paw up here, wanting me to pet him. Okay. Let's go over here.
Fred Hill, I don't want to say anything bad, but he, how can I say this? I don't know. He starts to throw everybody off. Let's just put it that way. He's throwing everybody off, right?
Is there a possibility that Fred Hill could have done something?
It is possible. He left out about the time Summer disappeared to take off all that scrap metal. I don't know. It's possible.
When I come in at about 7 o'clock that evening, she done do all everything. Well, I was probably coming by 8.
But you had already been in.
The whole holler shut down, you know.
You had already been in earlier that day, though, right? You were already in earlier that day, right? That's just when you came.
I've been here all day. That's about, I don't know, probably about 5:30 or something. And that's when I went out. And then I come back in and got my trailer to haul that motorcycle. So that probably put it around 6:30 or something. Between 6 and 6:30.
So right before she.
I didn't see nothing. Nobody right there.
Right when she was.
Nothing. Like at that time, you know. But when I come back in from grocery store and taking that motorcycle, I ended up with another motorcycle on Thursday coming back with it, which is like sitting out there. What was I saying? My mind went blank for a second.
You were saying how you went out when it was like just when you came back in at 7. You were about to say something about when you came back in at 7, and I asked you. You got scrap, the trailer, and motorcycle.
Yeah, I just trying to think how I want to say here, you know.
Oh, why? Something.
I don't want to word it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know if there was something you weren't supposed to say.
I come in. Say I come in at 8 o'clock. Well, the hall is shut down. Well, I come on up here, and then I actually walk back down there.
So you saw Fred?
Correct.
When exactly was that?
So they keep talking about how Fred was on Ben Hill Road that day. But he keeps saying Andy was on Ben Hill Road that day. So the stories. Oh, that's okay, Mimi Jean. No problem. No, don't. You are. Right. It's hard to believe them, Eve, because it's so much crap that they, and I feel like it's on purpose. I feel like all of the extra crap is on purpose. And then some of it, Don just feeds into because it just helps him out. It's just like, let's throw more diversions in here. Let's add more confusion. Let's add more junk to it. So it is so much piled up now that the facts are getting lost in the junk. The few things I do believe is the red vehicles have something to do with Ben Hill Road and how they do things on Ben Hill Road. I do believe the red vehicle. What was that? That was like really loud. Did y'all hear that? I feel like the red vehicles really have something to do with the goings on Ben Hill Road, because red is easily seen. You can see them coming, you can see them going, you can see them from a distance. So I kind of feel like red is a thing. It may not be a thing anymore, but I feel like it's a thing. That's when the truck went by with the young man in it. He drove by a few times. That is from the lady who had the garage sale. So he could have been going by. He could have been going past just to see what she had. I know some people, go back and forth, and because they don't want to stop. I mean, it's kind of creepy, but people do that. So that could have been it. Could have been. Yep, they have changed. Absolutely, they have changed. Yep. Yes, thank you, Laura, for all the information. And that's what I like about discussions. I like people coming in and because I will not sit here and tell you not I know everything about any case. And I appreciate people coming in and saying, "Hey, I know this and I know that," because that's what I want to work on is facts if we can find them in this bowl of mess. So yes, I appreciate it when you come in and you know stuff and you share it. Absolutely. Yes, it is appreciated. Their tree trimmers said that they seen Summer on the back of a truck too, but it was Dawn. Hmm. And also, I just kind of want to know this, and I probably have answered my own question in my in my brain because I just said, well, what if she had a dress on? So how would they know with Summer's hair like it was? How would they know that it's a little girl other than the fact that maybe she had a dress on? If her head was shaved slick like that or hardly have any hair, how would they know that they're looking at a little girl unless she had a dress on? And then how would they know it's a little girl? I mean, I'm just saying. How would they know that that's Summer, that's a little girl, and that was Summer? Now, if she had long hair, like long blonde hair, like she should at the age of 5, then I would be more believing them. But Summer didn't have any hair. She had none. And unless she had a dress on, the day that they saw her, how would they know it was Summer? Just wondering, wouldn't her hair have a little grow out by June? Well, we had that discussion too. And at Easter, her hair was short, so she should have had her hair should have been grown out by then, some. But I don't know that it would have been long enough to be like, it was so short and slick, she would have still, for me, she would have still looked like a little boy, not a little girl. And she was so skinny and little. I mean, there would be no way to tell she was a girl unless she had a dress on. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It was 14, 15, something. Right. Yeah. Right. Because Fred in a video has said that she could have went missing the day before. Very possible. Swimming picture and car picture was shorter. Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if you seen her running, unless she had a dress on, would you think it's a girl? So the people that are saying, well, we seen Summer, okay, if you didn't know her, just say you didn't know anything about Summer and you were driving down the road and you seen a child built like Summer with her hair short like that, and she didn't have a dress on. She had, excuse me, sir, she had on just shorts and a shirt. Would you know? Oh yeah, I seen Summer. I seen that little girl that day. Would you even remember that you saw her? You would just thought it was a little boy that you saw. You wouldn't know that you actually saw Summer. So that's my thing. How did they know it was her? Yeah. Yeah. Very suspect. Yeah. Think she was moved at night? Very possible. Very possible. But they said that she was seen that day. They've got proof she was seen that day. Okay. Where's the proof that she was seen that day? Was she seen on the Walgreens video? They said they seen her in the drive-through video, the camera at Walgreens. Is that where, or was it at the store? Was at the grocery store. I can't remember exactly where they said they saw her, but they say that they saw her that day on the 15th. I think he may have got in trouble because of the search and worked with law enforcement to lessen his charge. That could be true, Teresa. That could be. Could be. Very well could be. I would think she's a little girl because she was very pixie. Boys aren't. You're right. They aren't. They aren't. But if you've seen her running in shorts and a shirt, and short hair, you might not think it's a girl, right? I don't know that I would. I can't say that I would pick her out as a girl. I might say, oh, well, there was 4. It looked like boys, but it could have been summer. You know what I mean? Walgreens. Okay, I thought it was Walgreens. Didn't he say the car with Hunter at Walgreens? I think y'all are right. I'm pretty sure it was at Walgreens. Because I believe Chris Madonna actually went there, if I'm not mistaken, and talked to them. So a little figure in the back seat, but it wasn't clear. I'm not sure. And at the time they saw her, she could have been, was she laying on the milk at that time? Grocery store. Okay. This part of it is when Ryan was interviewing from Ryan Finds Truth he's interviewing some searchers, I think, that was there that day searching for Summer. Let's see.
It would have been before the actual foot search set off.
Before it got set off. Okay.
It was that dusky, it was almost to that dark point. They were fixing to go out on their search.
The first search.
Everybody was already split up into their groups. They knew where they were going. Everybody was just kind of getting their flashlights ready, about to break off.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, the road it's blocked off. There's nobody going in. There's nobody coming out.
Yeah.
He was coming out of Ben Hill towards Beach Creek. Right there, I don't know, probably 15 foot from the driveway.
They had the road blocked off at the one fella that you went down there and walked his property.
Andrew.
Yeah.
It was right at his driveway. It's pretty much where.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't necessarily cruisers across the road, but you had, parked up the side right there, and they had, you had hundreds of people, gathered in the road.
Yeah.
Where did he get turned around?
He backed all the way out.
Did he get turned around at Andrews?
It would have.
He backed up, but you went around that corner unless.
Mimi Jean, I don't either. This was just in Killer's video. And I don't know if I said it after you came in, but this is Killer Looks video. And I have found it 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to go review it because it's a very good video. And I had not heard Don talking, the Don and Benny conversation in a very long time, and I thought that was very interesting. But Ryan is in this video with that Killer Looks put together. Good night, my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. Sleep well. Have a good night. Okay.
You walked all the way up there, you couldn't really see where he went.
You saw him at the second blockade near Andrews. Okay.
Yeah, so he came down in there like he was leaving. Obviously, you couldn't. So he had to back out and get turned around, just go back to wherever he come from, his house or
If you had to guess, pretty as best you can, I think I've asked several times. Sorry. What the time that you saw him?
If you all went out on your search around that 8:30, 9 o'clock, this was probably about 8:30.
8:30 at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is playing Fred. Yeah. And Fred, that's the story about to him. You say my name again, and he'll kill it. You know what? I don't talk about Fred Hill. I don't know who Fred Hill is. The only thing I know about Fred Hill is I'm not going to say this because I don't want it out there. Scared of Fred.
Don't you find that interesting how Candace doesn't know who Fred Hill is? Let's see. I don't always like. That is true, Bella. You are true. That is true. I think Walgreens was the only place they could confirm for sure, because she went to the store and then she went to that cigarette place, or not, I'm sorry, vaping place, and it's not there anymore. So even if we wanted to go check and see, if they actually went there, I think that place is closed. I think we found that out in one of my other lives. He does have great intuition. Yep. Right. Mm-hmm. Amen. I'm like, how can you? Okay, I can't see that you not know her, know him. I don't see that, but we'll continue to what she says. Listen to her.
Yeah, I'm scared of Fred. Who the hell ain't Fred? Scared of? Oh, I ain't scared of Fred. I'm scared of Fred. I ain't scared of Fred either. Fred's very dangerous. He's a very dangerous guy.
Found out that old Cotton was dead.
How can you not be scared of Fred if you don't know Fred? If you don't know Fred, then how can you not be scared or be scared of him? That made no sense. I'm not scared of Fred. You just said you didn't know him. Right, she was. She was. Yep. Mental problem. Yeah, I agree. Right. I agree, Laura. Right. Didn't know him though, but she's not scared of him.
Exactly. He's going to blame it on the dead man. Really? Wow.
Sometimes people will do things to get the look off themselves. Blame it on a dead person. That's a good way to go about it.
Well, I'll guarantee you the detectives are trying to talk to him, but he keeps talking him way out in left field somewhere. And that's why I want to beat his ass so bad. Because he could be the person responsible for Summer's disappearance. Because he got meth heads going in and out of our road day and night, all.
Wham. Dawn, because you are perfect. You wouldn't happen to have any kind of rug heads going in and out, would you, Dawn? That's all Fred's fault, right? He's the only one that would do that, right? And it sounds like you're on something there. Right. Me don't. Just as I was getting it out of my mouth, have another. I mean, seriously, he has math heads running in and out of there. Okay, maybe you have different kind of heads running in and out of there, but it's all the same. It's all the same. Yep. Yeah, I didn't know that. Is that the name? Was that the name of it, Hippie House? Yeah, they said it was closed. I don't know if it closed like not too long after Summer went missing, but I knew that it was closed. Yeah. Let's go listen to some more lies.
Day long, all night long, and he could be the person responsible for Summer's disappearance. And he wants to sit there and talk crazy. The boy needs his ass beat.
Was Summer dumped in a storage area? Junkyard.
So it's a horrific thought. It really is horrific to think that Summer was put in a car, taken to the junkyard, and then basically cars are crushed at the junkyard. I don't think it could actually happen. I don't think from the timeline it could happen. So let's run through the timeline. Now, we know that Fred and Laura were a little bit inconsistent with the timings. But what we do know is that the junkyard that they want to closes at 5, but it won't accept vehicles for scrap after 4 because, you know, they've got to be unloaded and positioned and da-da-da-da-da. Somebody said in my live the other day that they went to Jamie's Auto Parts in Church Hill, but I listened to Laura's interview again with Ziggy and she actually named it, and it's Hilltop Salvage, which is kind of the north end of Kingsport, nearly in Virginia. And yeah, that closes at 5, but doesn't accept vehicles after 4. Anything's possible. Fred Hill being a serial killer technically is possible. Fred Hill killing Cotton Simpson because Cotton killed Summer or disappeared Summer is technically possible. Is it likely? No. I think it's more likely, honestly, that Fred got mad with Cotton because Cotton told him something horrible and that ended up with him dying. I think that's more possible, more probable, unlikely but still possible, and more probable than Summer being taken to the junkyard.
Truck in. Okay.
Scooby fucking Doo. If not for those pesky meddling kids.
That's what I do. Catfish Billy, baby, hello, how are you? You're my 9 numbers like a power.
I cannot with her. I cannot with Jody Sue. You're right. The ones that look like sugar. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Just a little bit after someone went missing. Okay. Yep. Yep. They all need. Yeah. I know. And it's yeah. Right. And she's probably right in what she's saying. I mean, she 100% is probably complaining about pesky kids, as in people digging into her and Ben Hill Road. I'm sure that is what she's referring to, because she doesn't live there anymore either, right? I don't think she lives there anymore. I can't with her. I mean, I just cannot. I don't know if I can find it. Let me go look. Let me see if I can find it. I want to fuss about it a little if I can find it in my playlist. There it is. There it is. I want to I'm going to bring it up. Hold on. Go here. Let me close this one out. If I can get it up here. Okay. This aggravates me. Have y'all seen the age progression picture of Summer? The only thing I understand. Right? Right. She lives in her mom's yard? Okay. Because when she lived on the property with Andy, did they live in a travel trailer? I have a lot to say about her age progression picture. I don't like it. I didn't like the first one they come out with. No, a dump. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't, I get it, like, because my husband was military police and when we were active duty. But we've been retired for a while, but and I was talking to him about the age progression picture, and he was, explaining to me why it's like it is and everything. And he's like, I don't like those because I would rather, if my child was missing, he said, I would rather you sit down with an artist and draw a picture from her last picture of what you think she looks like, a rendering drawing. He said, I don't like those because they go in and they change your facial structure for you to grow, but they don't really stay with your features. Like if I get a baby picture out of me and I look at it and I look at me now, I can tell that was me as a baby. I can look at that and say, oh yeah, I can tell that's me as a baby. But when I look at these pictures of Summer, I can't even tell that's Summer. You like this one better than the first one? I can't even tell that they are Summer. I mean, if I was looking for Summer, I would have not been looking for a child that looks like that. I just wouldn't. I would not be looking for those features on her. So I'll show y'all. I'll let this play. Hopefully they won't ding me for it, but we'll see.
Investigation has released a new age-progressed photo of missing Hawkins County girl Summer Wells. The TBI posted this new photo, which was created by a forensic artist.
So there they are. What do y'all think? Do they look like her to y'all? They do not. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Because for me and I get it, when you're growing old, your face is going to change. You're not going to be, your face isn't going to be fat and round. I get that, but I just don't. She doesn't hear. And so in 2021, she was 5 when she went missing. In 2023, that would make her 7. The child in that picture looks 9. So now in 2025, she would be 9 years old. That looks like the 2023 picture. So I don't, they're too old looking for her age. That in my opinion. And they don't look like her. So I'm not saying that the forensic scientists didn't know what they were doing, because they obviously do. That's what their job is. But I just don't like I think they should have made them more like Summer. Even if you scientifically do not think she would look like that. I mean, I can get pictures of when I was 6 years old, and I can get pictures of when I was 12 years old, and I can get pictures of when I was 21 years old, and you can still tell it's me. You can still tell that is the same person, and I just can't with these. Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, that's just, for me, I don't like the age regression pictures. I don't know if it's like my husband said, they don't take, like, they do them, but they don't really take in your features. They don't like look at, like your nose style, or like in all three pictures, her nose do not look the same. They don't. So yeah, that's my spiel on the pictures. We'll finish letting it play. They don't say a whole lot, but
to represent what Summer could look like in the present day. You can see an actual photo of Wells in 2021, the last age progressed photo that was created in 2023, and the one that's updated from today. Summer has been missing since June of 2021. She was 5 years old when she was reported missing.
There's no one in this area.
Yep. So I don't yeah, I don't care for the pictures. That's probably just my hang up. But so I have a couple of questions about what I'm going to do. How would y'all like to see me continue? Would you like to see me continue with Summer and cover some different parts of Summer's case? And what would that be? What would y'all like to see me cover in Summer's case that I haven't? Right. True. I 100% agree. And if that was my child, I would make them do that. I would tell them that's not my child. That's not. I'm not happy with that. But like you said, if they don't want her found, they're not going to care what the rendering looks like, right? Yeah, I agree. So would y'all like to see me cover more things about what's going on, which not really anything going on, but anything that happened along the way in Summer Stories, or something you would like me to go over? Or would you like me to try a new case, start looking at a new case? I'm never going to stop talking about Summer. Even if in the middle of talking about another case, I talk about Summer, I will always talk about Summer, especially until she gets her justice, because she was my first case. And I will always, always talk about Summer. But if y'all would like me to cover another case, I can do that also. And if you'd like me, I haven't really went over y'all would like for me to go over, I will do that too. Had a car crash and they check. That's what I was thinking. I was like, wouldn't they look and make sure there's nothing in the car before they even do that? Yeah, because it'll explode, right? If you don't take the gas tank off. Yeah, even the trunk and everything. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, because I just don't feel I don't feel that, and I don't feel the cemetery, to be honest with you. I don't feel the cemetery either. I do not. Michael Vaughn. Okay. All right. I agree. I agree. I agree. Monkey did get set aside. Yep. If y'all want me to, I will. We can talk about Monkey. Like I said, I will always talk about Summer here and there, even, if I'm not covering her every week, I'll always talk about her. But I will do whatever case y'all are interested in. It's a new one or Monkeys. We can definitely talk about him. Um, whatever y'all would like, I'm up for it. And we can start next week with whatever case you'd like. And I know that um, Mandy would like to talk about Monkey too, and I know she's got a lot of probably videos and information, and we can talk and go over that. Um, but if that's what y'all want to do, I can either put a poll up on my community chat, or we can just pick right now. And since y'all are the ones in here, y'all get to pick the case we do. So if you all want Michael, just put Michael or a 1 in the chat, or a monkey, and that's what we'll do. And I will write it down so we can work on. Okay, we want to talk about Monkey. We will talk about my pen. Well, it quit raining and thundering and lightning, so maybe I won't get wet going inside. All right, we will do that. We will talk about Michael then. I don't know if I probably won't be able to go live again this week. I was going to try, but I probably won't be able to do it on this channel. But I'm going to try to go on the Looking Glass this week, hopefully Thursday, because I need to go live on that channel too. And then I'm going to start maybe going live during the day too, every once in a while, just because I want to get some daytime live streams in also. But they would be like earlier in the day, like probably like 10, because I have to be done so I can go get my grandkids off the bus. But they would probably be like 10, and I would be done by like 1, because I got to drive and get them off the bus. So how much about this little boy's story I would do. It's very sad. Monkey's story is very sad. He's still missing. His mom is very ill, and she just wants to find him and put him to rest before she passes away, because she's very ill. I haven't heard lately how she's doing. I hope she's doing better. But that is her last wish, is to be able to find him. And these 4 people know, at least 2 of the 4 know where he's at, and they just won't tell it. So I was hoping by now that they would have told her. But that tells you the type of sick individuals they are, knowing that his mom is so very ill and all she wants to do is know where her baby is, and they still can't even do the right thing and tell her. So it's just, there's got to be a very special place and HE double hockey sticks for them, because that is cruel, a type of cruelty that just is unmeasurable for that. But we will talk about Michael and give him some time and discuss his case. And it's very sad. Um, it's just heartbreaking just to think just that quick, that he was just taken and gone by them pieces of crap. I could say the other word, but I better not. So, but we will talk about Michael. We will do that. I will get some information. We'll try to start from the beginning. Hopefully, Mandy can join us because I know she really has talked a lot about Michael, and I know his mom. A couple of nights that we were talking about Michael on her channel, his mom came in the chat and was talking to us. So she likes it when you talk about Michael, and she likes it when you bring awareness and put word out there for missing children. And she's done a lot of work to find her son and to get justice for her son. And it is totally different from the set of parents in the Rogers case and the Wells case who have done nothing to find their child. She has done so much. And it tells you a lot when you see how much length she's went to find her son, and you see the lengths they've went to not to find theirs. So, yeah, she is. Brandy is a wonderful mom. Okay, Laura. Thank you. I appreciate it. Sir, Salem, get out of the way. This cat. All right, everyone. I will let you go. We've been on here like almost 2 hours. It's a good live. I appreciate y'all for joining me, sitting with me through the storm and all of the bangs outside. What that noise was my chair. The wind blew my chair that's on my porch over. So that's what that noise was, if you heard it. So please have a wonderful rest of the night. Get some rest. I really appreciate y'all being here. Hopefully we will reach 500 soon and we can have a celebration, a good party, a good time, a celebration. Come on, see what we'll be up to. I don't know what we'll do for a celebration. We'll think of something, but hopefully we'll get to 500 this year. It's always a hope, right? Salem, get out of here. Oh my gosh. He walked across my computer one more time. So have a great night, everyone. Salem, I'm going to knock him out. Remember to be kind to everyone everywhere, and please be kind, especially to yourself. Good night. Be safe. See you later. And thank you for being here.